So today I want to show this historically accurate castle keep that I built. So this is based on the medieval castles, the modern Bailey castles, but today we are just gonna do the keep. Here's the Bailey is still under building, so I'm just gonna be doing the keep. Okay, so it's based in the 12th century in northern France in the province of Picasso, Picardo, or something like that. Yeah. So that's for the reference, but really only matters that it's in France. So what would you see first? It's not like the castles you would usually think about, the stone ones with the crenellations and stuff like that. So most of the castles at this time, or and even later, were mostly made out of wood. The stone ones were really rare and mostly for kings, and most of the castles were for the local lords. So this is a typical keep in a modern made castle. It's made of wood. You can't really see it in here, but because almost all castles were plastered over with caulk stone, so this is white stuff. So it's prevented fires and made it look better. So it was almost always done this way. So you can't really see it, but it's made of wood. These were like vertical pillars. Oops. Vertical pillars going up, or logs. I mean logs, and it was built out of those. And what you see here up, the top floors were almost always done with overhang. It was better for the structure. It made the walls hold up better. So it was almost always done top floor like that. And what you see here up is like sometimes it would have the V-shaped ceiling roof, but mostly it was like this pyramid shape. There were flat roofs, but they were popular much later usually, and the granulation would come a bit later. They were almost all often used with the ones that I have, the flat roof. Of course, there were sometimes there was granulation with the pyramid roof, but it would be better to have the roof go overhang, so that it would prevent the castle from being hit from the rain. So it was better for that. So let's look at the outer side. The keep would be circular with a wall. It would be a wooden wall, but it would often not be whitewashed or caulked, or whatever you say. Yeah. So it would go around the keep like that, not that large, but enough you can walk from here, and the tops of the woods would be sharpened. Maybe not this sharp as here, but my limitations, so that's best I can do. So, and there would be these platforms that you can walk on and maybe shoot with a bow right here. So anybody who's trying to invade the castle, you can shoot them. And what you see here is not just the top part, but you can see it's built on this kind of a mountain of dirt. So it's up for the ground. And well, there's the Bailey here. It's not built, but it's much lower in the ground. So there was a pile of dirt under it, so that the keep would be higher and harder in weight. So let's have a look inside what do we have here. So there would be stairs up here. So unlike in the modern houses, the entrance would not be in the bottom floor. Because it would be hard to invade the castle if the entry was higher. So because of that, there would be stairs built there. So what do we have in the first room? This is called the Great Hall, arguably the most important room of the castle. Here we would have the dining areas, and it would be used for dining and also for the lords' diplomacy and stuff. So we have 3 tables. The most important table in here would be this one is for the king and his family, and these two would be for the lower class people, mostly the servants and other people who would come here. And what else would you see? There's a lot of banners in the walls. These are to represent the clothes that would be hanged on the walls. They offer for a better heat insulation because the castles were really cold. And something that was popular, there would be an open fire in the Great Hall. Yeah, I did not do it here because of usually when there was a floor up, there would not be a open fire. But in the case when there was no open fire, there would be pans of coal brought from the bailey to the keep, and those coals would keep them warm. So because they produce less smoke, and the smoke is a big problem in castles because their chimneys are not yet made. They did come in the castles later, but not in this period yet. So what do we have up here? There would be either a really steep stairs or a ladder, but you cannot really do steep stairs in Minecraft, so I opted for a ladder. So up here we have a little bit of a room before the sleeping area. These are a little bit of enclaves in the wall, and these are for storing clothes and stuff. And there's a bit of a sitting area, and of course the clothes in the walls. So what do we have here? There's a room. This room is usually for the Lord and his family. Pretty basic. They have clothes on the wall, and there's a place for sleep. Unlike today, the whole family would sleep in a same bed, so the Lord's family would be sleeping here. But if the family was big, there could be a separate room for the children. This could be the children's room or a guest room for the guest. Really depends. This could, I thought this to be a guest room, but sometimes it could be a for the children too. Okay, so we have still another room down here. It's pretty hard to access because of the chairs, but that's not a Minecraft problem. So there will be a cellar underneath to store wood and stuff. Of course there's a chest and some storage boxes, but mostly it will be for barrels. There's a lot of barrels in here. Barrels store a lot of stuff: wheat, ale, other stuff, other foods, of course. There's other stuff to store, but food is a very necessary thing to store. Mostly the riches of gold and silver would be in the king's sleeping area, usually. So this is what a keep historically would have looked like most of the time. Oh, and one thing I need to point out, in the roof top, the French castles would have this little pointy thing on the top. So this is really the thing where it's important that this is French, because if it's English, it would be unlikely to have this thing. So this is what the keep would most likely look like. So I will probably do another video when I get the bailey done, but it's still under building, so this is keep. Okay, see you next time.